This is Dominic. He plays lacrosse for Germany, built an edtech startup from 0 to 1 million ARR, expanded another one from Germany into 7 new markets, and used to be a top 10 ranked Magic player as a teenager. Hey, Dominic.
Yeah.
Why are you building this company?
I'm building Generalyst because it's a company I wish had existed for me. When I was running my first startup, I was struggling to find the right talent, and external support wasn't really helpful. Too expensive, too slow, didn't really know what a startup wants. So, I built a solution. I'm a generalist myself. When I graduated from university, I didn't really know what to specialize in. And the only obvious option for generalists seemed to be fucking management consulting. Nobody grows up wanting to maximize shareholder value. So instead, I built my own business. With 2 friends, we bootstrapped a company that brought unemployed nurses from Italy to Germany and taught them German in about 8 months. Within 4 years, we grew the company to 1 million ARR, placing around 70 nurses in German hospitals every single year. And during that time, I learned how to find and hire excellent people, how to build great teams, and what it actually means to build a company from 0 to 1. I learned a lot, I failed a lot, but at some point, my learning curve flattened. I left the company, and for the first time in my life, I entered the job market. And to my surprise, everybody asked me the same thing. What do you specialize in? And my answer was, well, nothing really. I can sell a 5 million enterprise contract, I can build automations inside your business, I can do the monthly accounting if you want me to do that, and I can design language course lessons or do anything else that your business needs in terms of solving. Because that's really what generalists do. We solve problems. Eventually, I joined a company called Stewie to build their international business from scratch. And to do that, I had to hire about 50 people within 3 years and faced every possible issue in the hiring pipeline. Let's take as an example my right hand, a junior chief of staff. Job boards didn't really work. We get a lot of applications, but not the right applications. The description for such a chief of staff position is very broad, so a lot of people think they're a fit. That led to too much noise, too little signal, and wasted a lot of time in the process. Executive search firms weren't really an option either. They want 30, maybe 35% of the first year's salary, and often 1/3 of that upfront, and we just didn't have any budget for that. So I started looking for alternatives, and quickly realized there was no good solution. And that's why Generalyst exists. We solve both problems that I've experienced myself with one tailored solution. To do that, we combine great generalist candidates and early-stage startups. And here's how it works. First, we continuously recruit smart, ambitious generalists into our program. These could be recent grads, former founders, startup operators, or career changers from consulting or banking. We screen them, we interview them, and the best ones we keep inside a curated talent pool. Then we invite founders like yourself to pitch themselves and their business to those candidates. This is important because the best candidates have a lot of options and they carefully evaluate which one of them is gonna get them closest to their goals. The best people don't just join a job, they join a founder, they join a mission. And in this pitch, they get to see how you think, what you're building, and whether they believe in your vision. Founders also get something extremely valuable: access to candidates that would never find you on the open market. Because the best people rarely apply to your AI-generated job description, but they will show up if they see a founder who's fired up about what they're building. But who are these people and how do you find them? We look for 4 traits in our candidates. All of these traits are things that have helped me in my career as a founder, as an athlete, and as an international expansion lead, and that hundreds of founders have told me they want in their candidates. The first one is track record of excellence. Has this person done something excellent in their life before? And excellence shows up in many ways. It could be strong academic results, a really high trajectory in their career so far, playing on a national team, or maybe founding a business or a side hustle in high school. I'm a big believer in how you do anything is how you do everything. And if a candidate has shown discipline and obsession previously in their career, we're quite confident that they will also show it in your company. 2, high agency. This means, are these people happening to life or is life happening to them? Founders cannot afford to hire people who constantly need to wait for instructions. They need people who just get after it. Signs of high agency include moving countries intentionally to pursue the right opportunity, building solutions to problems that maybe previously didn't exist before, or deviating from the typical linear career path. Many people assume that the best hires are the ones that follow the linear path. School, uni, the right internships, you know what I mean. But I think it's dangerous to assume that you can expect non-linear results from linear people. And you, as a founder, you're probably the best example of that. We find exceptional people that get overlooked because they don't fit in the box. 3. Clarity of communication. Can they say in one sentence what others can say in 5? Can they ask the right questions? Are they not afraid to say what they think, even if it's unpopular? Clear communication is one of the most important meta skills that you can have. Because in a startup, nobody has time for unnecessary complexity. Lastly, bias for action. Do these people actually do things, or are they just talking about doing things? In a startup, overthinking kills momentum. And you want people on your team who are comfortable getting started before everything is perfect. Okay, back to the process. After the pitch, you get access to all interested candidates. This gives you a high-quality initial burst of talent. And from there, you run your normal interview process.
And that's it? What if they don't find one? What if they need more? What's the long-term game plan?
There's more. We aim to become your long-term talent partner. We sign an agreement once, and then whenever we see a profile that we believe fits to your company, we simply send them your way. And you can always say no, no problem, because your needs will evolve as the company grows. First, you might approach us early on to hire a founder's associate. Later on, when your company scales, you'll probably need a chief of staff, someone that acts as a force multiplier onto your strategic initiatives. And eventually, when you run out of market in Germany, you're gonna want to expand internationally. And for that, you'll be able to hire country launchers. And that last part is something I've done myself. I even wrote a book about my experience of expanding into 7 different markets.
Can I buy that book somewhere?
Unfortunately not, because I've never published it. But you know what? Maybe I should publish it, shouldn't I? Well, anyway, for these last roles, especially the former founders in our candidate pool are just fantastic fits. Working with us is simple, because our incentives are aligned with yours. There's no retainer, no upfront payment, and we only charge you if you actually hire someone. Because our goal is to give you access to the best talent possible in the fairest way possible. Look, hiring for generalists is difficult because you can't run your traditional skill tests. You can't just say, sell me this pen, or give them a coding challenge. Generalists succeed because they learn quickly, solve ambiguous problems, and communicate clearly. So you need to test for those meta skills and not just hard skills. And that's what we specialize in.
So you're the specialist for hiring generalists?
Yeah, kind of. The irony is not lost on me, but you might hire for generalist roles once a year. We interview them every single day. So we've built a systematic way to identify the best ones and send them to you. If you've watched this far, you've probably faced the exact problems I've outlined in this video and might need a solution. So send us a message today and buy back your time to focus on what truly matters, making things people want.